Sheffield Wednesday fans, how are you feeling about this morning? Ahead of their game tonight, and it's live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2, Simon, Sheffield Wednesday hosts Sunderland tonight. The man at the top of the house at Wednesday, Dejphon Chansiri, has issued a statement to unhappy fans. Of course, they threw tennis balls onto the pitch the other night. They're not happy with the way the football club is being run. And Chansiri has decided that the best line of defence is attack. He says this morning in a statement, while you were coming in, Simon, this went out on the Twitter account, Wednesday's Twitter account. I think it is time to say some things that I feel I have to say before it's too late. Fans can complain, criticise, give strong opinion, balanced opinion, say anything you like, but no one has the right to cross the line or the right to try and cause damage, throw insults, or go to my family, which has happened again, which I cannot accept it. He says, from now on, I will not put additional money into the club. If you say you are the owner and I am the custodian, then show me how to be the good owner and help save your club. You want me to leave, but you want me to spend money. If you want me to leave, then show me how to run the club and invest the money before I do that. You have no right to ask me to leave. He says, I'm the one who saved the club and spent the money for the club. I'm the one who needs to pay around 2 million quid on average every month. And he finishes off in style. This is not acceptable. And as a result, I am not willing to inject more money while I'm being treated unfairly by those fans. So he says, look, you've had me for a while and my money no longer. Is he right?
Yes and no, because some of what he says is probably true. The fact of the matter is that that's the reality of the role that he took on. Some Sheffield Wednesday fans will no doubt say, oh, how convenient. You're going to use our behaviour as a reason to not inject money in the football club when we all know you don't want to do that in the first place. That will be the default setting. I don't think the club has been on an even keel with him for a long time. I think people have felt he was a very strange owner for lots of different reasons, and the club hasn't thrived. A couple of seasons they got close to getting out of the division. I think Carlos Carvajal got them into different places where they looked like they could get into the Premier League, and they didn't. But I look at it and say, some of the things he says are right about the reality of the club and the money he's put in, and you can't argue that he spent 160, 170 million pounds to go round in circles and achieve virtually nothing whilst getting abused for doing it in the same way that Moshiri has. But unfortunately, that is what you sign up for sometimes if the football club that you're running isn't successful and doesn't run itself in a way that the fans think it should be run. I do think, and people are going to say, well, you would say this because you're former. I do think sometimes fans have got a little bit too much of it. They've got a little bit too much to say. There is a line. You have every right to tell people that you don't like the way they're running the football club. You have every right to express your views.
Well, that's what they've done.
Well, if you're getting into the territory, and then the fans will push back. They'll say this is a misrepresentation for the owner. If his family are being interacted with in an abusive fashion, if he's being put to certain circumstances where there is a step in across the line, he has every right to say it. But I'm not sure this is not going to achieve anything. This is someone venting their spleen. Yeah. If you're going to vent your spleen...
Well, his statement's not going to achieve anything.
Well, what's it going to achieve? You're going to get the same people sitting there. They're going to mock the statement. They're going to double down on their intentions. And
on the day of a game.
Well, and they're going to push back and tell you the reasons precisely why they're entitled to behave how they are. So he's going to achieve nothing. He's going to vent his spleen. And that's great. If venting your spleen makes you feel better, fantastic. If venting your spleen achieves no outcome, which this will not, all it will achieve is parody, ridicule, more contempt, more disdain, and people telling you the reasons why they're behaving the way they are.
I mean, he's threatening them, really. He says, look, as a result of this, take it from me, no more dough from me, that's the end of it, no more money.
Well, we've seen this before, haven't we? We've seen a situation with the Oldman fans where the owner got very entrenched in his position. He was having no more of their abuse. They were telling us on air that his mismanagement of the football club was almost criminal and negligent. And that he hadn't put any money in and so on and so forth. This guy you can't argue with. He's put a lot of money in. Do I think he's a great owner? Probably not. Do I think the fans have cause to have unrest? Of course.
Nobody forced them to put the money in.
No, nobody forces you to put the money in, absolutely. But that doesn't mean you get to be parodied and ridiculed the moment things don't go the way that people want it to.
Simon, were you ever close to saying something like this publicly?
No.
You don't kind of admire this a little bit, where he's come out?
No, I don't admire it.
He's been honest.
I understand it.
It's costing £2 million a month.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Well, yes, but who's put themselves in that position where they economically run the club in such a way that it's going to cost you £24 million a year to get it to stand still?
So he knew the rules. He knew the rules when he came in.
Well, I don't think anybody understands the rules of engagement when you come in to buy a football club because you think everyone's together. I can remember when I bought Palace and the club had been in administration for 18 months, it was absolutely decaying. It was falling apart. There's nothing left of what I bought. Right? When I bought it, I was there. My first thing I did was look at the fans forum. And the first thing I saw as the saviour of a football club that was about to be extinct was a post from someone saying, well, Jordan's just arrived through the door. Let's give him a couple of weeks before we hammer him. and you read that and you think,
yeah.
What?
I'm not
Is
having that.
Is that the default setting that certain people have?
Sure, I totally get that, Simon. You look at the table, Sheffield Wednesday going against Sunderland tonight is live in talkSPORT 2. Sheffield Wednesday, the only club in the Championship who haven't managed to get themselves a win, played 8, won none, sit rank at the bottom of the Championship division. But I'm going to put it out there, do you admire Chansiri's honesty? Sheffield Wednesday fans, where are you at with this? Because in Chansiri's eyes, no, sorry, you've gone too far this time. That's it. And as a result of that, you heard me quote him, this is not acceptable. And as a result, I am not willing to inject more money while I'm being treated unfairly by those fans. On my Twitter account this morning, at Jim White, we put this statement out, part of it, just a tiny section of it. And I said, Sheffield Wednesday fans, is he right to take this stance? 73% of you say, absolutely not. He's not right at all. 27% of you say, yeah, he's right. But an overwhelming number of you say, no, he's out of order.
Probably Sheffield United fans that said yes.
So where's it got you? Where's it got you now? Because you've got an owner who said, that's it, no more. No more money. Are you going to carry on protesting tonight? The game is at home. Yes. It's at Hillsborough against Sunderland. Will you carry on protesting? 03717 22 3344 81089. Is this what the players need to hear, Martin, going into this game tonight against Sunderland, which even this early in the season,
not ideal,
before
is it?
October, is must win?
You know, and it's interesting that the fans are voting, aren't they, with their feet, because the first home game of the season there was 36,000 there against Leeds, and now the last one 22,000. So people aren't turning.
They're losing. They're bottom of the league. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So it's a very fickle.
Funny that, isn't it? I thought it was their club. I thought they were the supporters of the club.
Maybe they should.
I thought they supported them through thick and thin. I thought that was all about their football club, except when results are going against them. There is this, and all these Sheffield Wednesday fans will now be screaming at me.
Are you suggesting they're fair weather fans?
I'm suggesting that ultimately you don't have to support the owner, you have to support the football club. You support your players. This is your football club. You tell us every day as owners, you ain't nothing but custodians. Your money is our money. We'll spend it as you want. You put our season ticket prices up, we'll scream. And if we don't like something, we won't turn up. There is a reality about that, and football fans won't like to hear it.
So if the Sheffield Wednesday fans are listening, we should have a sellout then tonight, should we?
No, they won't, because they don't like what they're seeing, and they don't want to support it. But they're not supporting the owner. They're supporting the team. It's their team. It's their club. It matters to them. He is a passing custodian, as they will tell an owner every single day. Every time you open your trap about what you expect from fans.
But he's taking on the responsibility, Simon. It's their right to turn up as and when they want.
And that's fine.
It's Chansiri's football club. It's his duty to financially support it.
Not according to them. Now, hold on. It's not his football club according to them. It's their football club. They're entitled to say what they want about it.
Yeah, but you need an owner, and he's the owner.
And that owner needs to be managed.
They're saying they're not the owners. He's the owner.
Well, no, they'll tell you that you're a custodian. You're there to spend your money. That's what your job is. Well, you're not there to profit from it. You're not there to take any money out of it. God forbid you do any well out of it yourself. The only thing you're there to do is pay for everything. Mm-hmm. And if we don't like what you've done, we're going to tell you. And then if we really don't like it,
there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Well,
I mean, when he bought the club to run the club and own the club.
Isn't that a bit fair weather?
So what advice would you have for him now, the owner of the club?
I would have said to him that it was a fool's errand to write that letter.
But he's gone too far.
How should he row back?
Well, he hasn't gone too far. Ultimately, he's telling people what he's not prepared to do.
You don't think this is going too far?
I think this
is not acceptable. I'm no longer willing to inject more money in the club.
Do I think he's gone too far? Going too far would be to turn around and say, I tell you what, I've got 150 million in this football club. I've got a debenture on that money. I'm sticking it to administration. Up yours. How about that? And the next people can come along and pay me the debt that I'm owed. That would be going too far. What he's doing is a rather, I think, childish response to the fact that he's not prepared, probably culturally because of his background, to be told by people that tell him that they own the football club what he should do with his money. In the meantime, we're not going to come and support you whilst you do it.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday fans, let's hear from you this morning. It's now got to this. So what gives next? Are you going to go to Hillsborough tonight? Are you going to watch a club tonight? Still under Chansiri, who's saying, that's it, no more money from me. Chansiri is an awful owner, says this fan. He bought a club that was financially stable and stripped all the assets and sold them under dubious circumstances to himself.
Could be right.
And caused a points deduction. That's just one of many messages. Oh, there's a nasty one. Simon Jordan, you hate football fans everywhere. You hate working class people.
Yeah, I've seen that. What I dislike is feeble-minded people that are one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I'm a working class person. My father was a working class person. I was born 100 yards away from the football stadium. I happened to get off my backside and go and make a few quid. And feeble-minded nincompoops like that throw insults out just because they can't agree or disagree reasonably are not even worth reading out.
Let's hear from you this morning. This is your chance to tell us why you've been protesting, why you're no longer having Chansiri, and why it's got to this. Because Chansiri has stood toe-to-toe with you this morning and has come right back in your faces. 03717 223344 81089.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.